Hey Mia, you want to help me do an unboxing?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. What's going on, geeks? I am here with one of my granddaughters, Miss Mia. So you want to say hi to anybody, Mia?
Hi.
You've seen her in a couple of videos way back in the day. She's grown up a lot now. But she's going to help me do an unboxing from BoatEFX. I cannot wait because let me tell you, I love my new canvas. Shoo, something in my eye. But getting up and down off that thing without having any steps, man, I've already about fell off of it. That's one of the big things I always tell you geeks, man. The steps are for safety. I know of 2 guys who passed away, who fell off the boat at the boat ramp during the wintertime. We do a lot of wintertime fishing. It can happen during the summer. It can happen anytime. Who passed away. I've got another friend who I know quite well who fell off, and this is about what happened to me the other day. Fell off the boat and came down across the tongue and broke several ribs. Now, as a matter of fact, and you guys haven't, I don't know if you've seen the story time yet. We're going to get to that point. But one of my tournaments this year, instead of using my BoatEFX steps, I decided to step across, fell off the boat, got a huge knot, and this is 3 weeks later or better on my shin. I think I cracked my heel. They're both still swollen and hurt, and hurt my elbow too. Fell off in the parking lot. Luckily, I don't know, maybe I would have rather fell off in the water. I didn't hit my head, so, and I had friends around me, so it would have been a lot softer landing. But all that being said, Mia's going to help us unbox the BoatEFX box. I hope they send me a bunch of cool stuff. But even if it's just the steps, trust me, I am going to be happy.
Yep.
These things are heavier than I remember. Pull, baby. Be careful, don't fall. There you go.
And we have a hat.
All right. Now hold on, Luke. Well, wait a minute. Let's show them. Check out the steps. Got the lime green, going to match the boat real well. Now you'll notice we don't have any non-slip. Mia just pulled something out.
So, have a hat.
There you go. We got a hat,
And
lime green.
I think I just forgot.
Yeah, these are for the steps. So these are the foam steps. They'll go right here. We'll show you how to put them on. What else we got in here? Uh-oh. Important. Importante. Thank you for your order. And then it shows us how to put it together.
It looks like there's something down there.
There is. Now the question is, ugh, there's a box in a box.
A box in the bag.
Uh-oh. There you go. All right, looks like some more of our stuff.
More boxes.
Nuts and bolts, gotta have those to put it together.
I got whatever this is. 1, 2.
Here's our handrail. Gotta have that.
Some foam and something. I don't know what that is. Oh,
That's the rest of our handrail. All right, what else? Is that it?
I think so.
All right.
This.
Now, I know we got a bunch more stuff coming from BoatEFX, like some gimbals for the new graph mount up front. We've got some boat, the seat plugs, which are coming, and we got a couple other graph locks and graph savers that are coming in, cover savers, Lord. I get it right in an hour or 2, guys. All right, but for now, me and Mia are going to load up, and we're going to show you how to install this stuff. So this first mounting bracket, one of the things that you're going to want a deep well socket because these bolts are pretty long, and a standard socket. What I do is I put one on the top right, one on the bottom left, you know, diagonally. I get this thing mounted up there tight enough to where it's not going to slip up and down on your post. From there, I'll bring over my steps and I will adjust them based on, you know, the level so that they're good and level. I'll make sure it's right where I want. I'll also adjust them up and down based on how much or how high I want that first step, or how low I want that first step. It's good once you get a couple of bolts in to mock up the steps, the level, the height, and just know what you're going to be in for. At that point, if it's where I want it, I'll go ahead and put the other 2 bolts in. I get them mounted and I go ahead and torque them. But I'll make sure that I torque them from top right to bottom left and from top left to bottom right. And every time you tighten, you want to go in and make sure you're checking, because as you pull one side may be a little looser. So torque it down, and you'll probably have to torque it down once you get everything mounted again, just to make sure that it's not moving or slipping, just for safety's sake. So second verse, same as the first. So now you're going to actually mount the steps. You got 2 circular connections here, so it leaves you a lot of play with the way they've designed the bolt holes, that you can really tweak these steps. You can really adjust them to fit you, your preference, your boat. This is the part where it helped to have a second person. You can do this. I've done both of mine by myself. The biggest part is get it up there, get it kind of mocked up to where it's close to where you want it to be. Get you a couple in the top right and left corner. Don't tighten them down all the way, just enough to where it's not going to slip off and bonk you in the head, because these steps are heavy. And then you can put a couple in the bottom 2 corners. Torque them up just enough to where it's going to hold, and you can kind of step back, look at things, and make sure it's where you want. Once you do that, tighten those 4 down, and then go ahead, put in the rest of the bolts, the nuts and bolts. And then once you get all of those in, begin to torque them across from each other. So top right, bottom left, top left, bottom right, left to right, you know, that sort of thing. Just make sure you're really torquing this down. You really don't want this to slide. I've had the ones on the Triton for 3 years now, and I haven't had to tighten or torque a single nut or bolt on it. So we're going to break away from the steps for a minute. We're going to install the BoatEFX step. Now this step goes on the tongue of your trailer, and it's shaped kind of like a boomerang, hence the name BoatEFX step. But it is probably as important, because balancing on that narrow piece of steel tubing on your trailer, the tongue, can be extremely dangerous. It gives you a good, wide, flat surface. We'll talk about grip in a minute. And, you know, you can get down there, connect the boat up. It's great, guys. It is worth every single penny. And as I always say, how much is your life worth? Falling off from this height may not kill you, but like I said, in the wintertime, I do a lot of winter fishing. In the rain, we do a lot of fishing in the rain. Fall off and come down across that trailer hitch just right, or on your ribs, and I promise you, I don't care how young you are, you're gonna break something. But let's talk about installing this. Now you can see there's 4 bolts, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. I'll go ahead and kind of position it up, and then I'll drop through. Now the great thing is all you need is 1 socket, because it drops down into a fitting at the top that keeps the bolt head from turning. Tighten up one side, tighten up the other until it's good and tight, and you've got it in the position that you want it to be in. The last thing is go ahead and put your plastic plugs in the top to cover the holes up to make it nice and smooth. All right, back to the steps. So we're going to go ahead and put in the lower portion of your handrail, and this is basically 2 bolts, 2 nuts, 4 washers. Pretty straightforward. Bolt it up, torque it down nice and tight, and on to the top half. So now we're going to put the top half, and this is an angled portion of the handrail. Now I wanted it pointed toward my boat so that when I'm getting in, I've got that handle to kind of hold on to as I'm stepping from the steps over into the boat, and vice versa. From the boat, I can grab that handle and step out onto the steps. And you can put it any way you want. You can turn it around and use it to help you get up on the steps, but for the most part, the way it's designed is to be able to help you across the small gap, and it's a very small gap between the boat and the steps. But that's the great thing, again, with this circular connection. You can adjust it to your boat trailer frame and your boat itself, so you can put it anywhere where you feel comfortable with it. And again, it's got several bolts, several nuts and washers, so just make sure you space them out good and you torque them across from each other, so you're torquing down bolts that are directly across from each other and getting everything good and snug. Last but not least, we're going to go ahead and put our foam traction pads on. You can get these in a ton of different colors when you buy the steps and the Boom step. They look great, they dry quick, and you can get them to match your boat, which, as you can tell, black and lime green. I think it looks great. Basically, you just peel off. You want to make sure you got a little bit of alcohol and you really wipe down that BOMA step, the part of the steps where you're going to adhere the foam. So wipe it down real good, make sure it's dry, and then just put it in position and press it on. Now onto the steps themselves. Now these will come out and they will be lettered A, B, and C. So the very first thing I do is I go ahead and kind of match them up. You know, it'll be from bottom to top, A, B, and then the top one should be C. And so I go ahead, before I peel anything off, I go ahead and match them to where they should be set. Once that happens, again, take you a little bit of alcohol, clean it off, peel it off, and go ahead and stick them into place. Now don't press too early in case you get them in, you know, the wrong place or a little off center, but it's really pretty easy. You get them put on, press them down, and voila, there's A, here's B, and there's C. Now for the final test. Now guys, go back before you do this. Make sure, check every single bolt, make sure it's good and torqued, you didn't leave any that were loose, and give it a little extra elbow grease for safety's sake. But as you can see, I weigh about 320 right here, and it's no problem whatsoever. It handles me. Hey guys, want to give a big shout out to my granddaughter, Mia. I love her so much. She is the light of my life. I love her. Hopefully we're going to get these kids out and get them fishing one of these days. That is the ultimate goal. Her, my two grandsons, and of course my other granddaughter, who can barely hold a cup yet, so you know, might take a minute for her. But anyway, all that being said, guys, you know I love you geeks out there. I love you geeks. Protect yourself. I know the boat steps are expensive, okay? I get it. But I will say it 100 times. Even for you young guys. Prime example, my son, okay? My son, who is half my age, roughly, blew his knee out hiking. So if he can blow his knee out and have to have complete reconstructive surgery, you guys can really hurt yourself climbing up and down on these boats. Spend the money if you don't have the steps already to get the steps, and I wholeheartedly believe these are the best steps on the market. There is a 5% discount, so to save you a little bit of money on anything you buy, it's BassGeek 5. Go out to the website, pick you up some steps, man, and don't skip over that Boom step. I'm telling you, that thing makes life so much easier. But that's how I install them. They'll be on every single boat I ever own from here till either they stop making them or I don't know. I stopped buying boats. Who knows what'll happen first. Don't tell my wife I said that. All right, anyway. You guys know that I love and respect each and every one of you, and that's the reason why I bring stuff like this to you, is to keep you guys fishing longer, because I hope I fish until the day that they finally just tie an anchor to me and kick me over. You know what I'm saying? So, as always, questions, comments in the comment section below, guys. If you got any questions about this or fishing in general, you know I love to talk fishing with you, and I really do mean that. Put them down in the comment section below. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. You guys know I love the 100% Watch Squad. You guys are incredible. Thank you for doing what you do for the channel. And as always, all you geeks rock.